Hamptons, you wanted to live south of the highway. Route 27 is the highway they're talking about. Up until 15, 20 years ago, that was true. Recently, in the last 15 years or so, living north or south of the highway doesn't really matter. The estate sections are still to the south, but people who have money live north and south. Bloomberg, who you know, Mayor Bloomberg of New York, billionaire, lives north of the highway. Okay, coming into Hampton Bays. And as I mentioned, Hampton Bay is the second most important fishing port in New York. Montauk being number one, Hampton Bays being number two. Hampton Bays, I mentioned before, used to be called Good Ground. There's a story that I find I've tried to research a little bit more to verify, but there was a man named T.J. Mole, M-O-L-E, T.J. the Mole Tallow, and what he would do, he had a plan to buy up farms here in Hampton Bays, and what he did is a very despicable thing. He would pass out to families blankets infected with smallpox, and when people passed away, he would generously offer to buy their farm from them. So that was T.J. the Mole Tallow. Coming into the community downtown of Hampton Bays. Hampton Bays, if you're talking about the Hampton Bays would be the affordable Hampton. Here you could get homes in under $1 million. So if you're following on the map, you saw we followed 24 all the way down to Montauk Highway. Now we're on Montauk Highway. We're heading east toward the village of Southampton. Coming up on your right side is a coming up on your left side is a building that's going to be part of a new downtown historic shop. It's called Lyons Hat Shop on your left. And Lyons Hat Shop in the 1900s would sell women's hats for anywhere from $29 to $39. And if you think about it, in the 1900s, $39 or $40 was like a month's wage for most people. And all the women of Southampton had to have a hat from Lyons Hat Shop.
Okay.
Hampton Bays and the points east become part land area known as Shinnecock Hills. Shinnecock Hills got its name from the Shinnecock Indians who inhabited this area. In Riverhead, where you were staying, Native Americans have inhabited that area for the last 10,000 years. Here in the Hamptons, the Shinnecocks have inhabited it for the last 8,000 years. The Shinnecock tribe is part of the Algonquin Nation, and they are the people of the shore, Shinnecock, people of the shore. all of this area was used for grazing animals, sheep, cattle, goats. So everything that you see, all the woods, etc., has all occurred in the last 100 years. Okay, coming up, it'll be on your left side, is the remnants of an old hotel. It was built by Buckminster. Buckminster built the Waldorf Astoria. This hotel that'll be coming up on your left side is called the Canoe Place Inn. It has been in disrepair for the last 5 years, and there's all new plans to revitalize it, to make it a convention center and hotel again. It was the favorite of Governor Smith from New York. Lucy and Desi stayed there. A whole variety of names. It'll be coming up on your left. Then we'll be crossing one of the two bridges that cross the Shinnecock Canal. And these two bridges are the only two ways in. So when there's a traffic problem, we really have a problem because you can't get in. So there's the old Canoe Place Inn that's going to be revitalized, rebuilt in the next 4 or 5 years. Crossing Shinnecock Canal to your right is Hampton Bays Harbor and the fishing fleet. That's the Shinnecock Canal. We're continuing heading east into the village of Southampton. I mentioned that this area is part of the Shinnecock Hills, and one of the hills that's up ahead was called Sugarloaf Hill. In colonial times, when you would buy sugar, you bought it as one large lump, and then you would shave it down to however much sugar you needed. Sugarloaf Hill is the one directly ahead of us. It was just basically a big sand dune. To your right is the Shinnecock Bay, and the gap in the barrier beach there was caused by the hurricane of 1938. That is the inlet now. Shinnecock Bay looks impressive, relatively shallow, at 4 feet in some locations. You don't really see major large yachts on the water because it is so shallow. This area that we're climbing now, this small little hill, is called Sugarloaf Hill, named after the large sugar lumps that you would buy in colonial times. We have a big problem with deer here in South Fork, and often, sometimes in the morning as I'm traveling this road, you'll see 2 or 3 dead on the side of the road. We're overpopulated by deer. At the turn of the century, 2 famous architects, Sanford White and Atterbury, did a lot of work here in the Hamptons. Atterbury's estate, Atterbury's helped with the design of Central Park in New York. Atterbury's estate is going to be coming up on your left. Not much, it's very hard to see because hedges are high, etc. And throughout the day, when I mention that someone lives here, please understand that these are their second homes. Very few people probably live here year-round. It's basically a resort area, resort areas, weekend and summer. Southampton Village and the Hampton part of the South Fork population probably doubles or triples during the summertime.